As soon as I got this phone in my hand, the first thing I did was flip it over to see the second screen. So the Vivo NEX or NEX dual screen version comes with two awesome screens. Of course, smartphone manufacturers now are going the way of the bezel-less display. The front screen of the Vivo NEX or NEX, I'll call it NEX, has absolutely no bezels. You just get this very small, slight chin on the bottom of the phone, but the top has no notches, no hole punches, absolutely bezel-less up at the top. So how can Vivo make a phone with absolutely no bezels at the top? Well, they don't put a front camera on it. All your camera equipment is at the back. No selfie camera, but you don't need a selfie camera because you can take selfies viewing the screen when you turn the phone over. So let's talk about that screen. It's a 5.5 inch 1080p HD display. That's the second screen, the one on the back. The front screen is a 6.5 inch 2310 by 1080p full AT display. Both front and back screens are AMOLED. When I had the phone in my hands, it was just absolutely incredible to see such an amazing screen as a secondary screen on the back of the phone. Colors on the back are super vivid, super sharp. It's an AMOLED screen, so you get super dark blacks, popping colors. When you want to take a selfie, just turn the phone around and use that 5.5 inch 1080p display to frame your shot. The back screen is used for a couple of things, notifications and some other things, and of course, framing your shot when you take a selfie. It's not perfectly flat, however. A portion of the top of the screen is covered by the camera unit. The camera unit is a big circle going around the top of the phone. It creates a sort of raised bump over the top bit of the back screen. Bezels on the back are obviously way thicker. It's a phone that incorporates that huge 6.5 inch front screen with no bezels, but of course the back will have much thicker bezels, but obviously the back screen isn't your main screen. That camera bump houses a 2 camera setup, a 12 megapixel and a 2 megapixel supporting camera for depth of field. When I was testing the camera, I must admit it didn't blow me away. The camera was okay, it was decent, but it wasn't amazing. It wasn't hugely sharp, and of course the store has incredible lighting. I couldn't test the low light capabilities. Vivo have chosen a 12 megapixel camera here, trying to give you the best of both worlds. Kind of sharp images and kind of decent in low light. I wasn't massively blown away with the camera. Other offerings from maybe Honor or Huawei with high megapixel cameras have much more clarity than this phone. I'm probably being a little bit harsh on the camera. It is a good camera, and I have to remind myself that this is a mid-tier phone at 5,000 RMB. It's not going to compete with the flagships, but the camera is really decent, and it does have optical image stabilization on the main 12 megapixel shooter. I did test it out and I wasn't massively impressed with the OIS. It was very good again, but not the best I've seen. That's probably something you're gonna get from a 5,000 RMB phone compared to a $1,000, 10,000 RMB flagship. When I zoomed in more than maybe 2 times, the footage, even though the lighting in the shop was really good, the footage got really grainy. Especially at 10 times zoom, you could just see the grain even in that really good front screen. I would say at 10 times zoom, that image is probably just unusable. Although most of us will use maybe 2 or 3 times zoom maximum anyway. When you do open up the camera, it will always give you the back camera. Obviously, there's no camera on the front. If you open the camera up from the front screen, the camera will always open up, obviously facing away from you. If you want to turn the camera around, just press the flip button. Then on the screen, it will tell you just to turn the phone over so you can start taking selfies and look at yourself using the back screen. After a few minutes using it in the shop, it just became second nature to just turn the phone round to take a selfie. It was pretty easy, and I'm sure you can set up some shortcuts, maybe tapping the back screen to open up the camera. I didn't get to try that in the shop, but I'm sure it's possible to do so. Apart from that, the camera has all the modes that you would expect: AR modes, night modes, portrait, normal photograph, video, and they're all using that main shooter. It will take a little bit of getting used to. Most of us are used to just opening up the selfie camera and having it face us. It is an extra step just to turn the phone round and take selfies like that. One of the main benefits of having that second screen is there is no selfie camera, so you'll be taking selfies with the full might of that back camera. Coming back to the front of the phone, you can unlock it with your fingerprint. Obviously, without any front-facing cameras, you're gonna need another way to unlock the phone because it's not gonna be able to scan your face if you're looking at the front. Vivo is one of the first companies to bring you this. I couldn't test it in store, but these things, you know, are getting better and better with every iteration. I will say that the front screen is just super, super bright. I love the AMOLED screen. You get super dark blacks. The colors are really, really saturated. It had this really cool animation when you flick through screens. The page that you were flicking away sort of went down into the background in a sort of cylindrical shape. It looked really cool. I haven't seen that on many other phones. It was a nice touch. You can see as I flick through the phone that the operating system takes advantage of that huge and long front screen. You can fit so many apps on one screen. I counted a 7:5 ratio. You can move those apps wherever you like. They don't have to be in order. You can also have other things like the clock placed wherever you want. On the home screen, you can put 3 or 4 apps at the very bottom of the phone to be anchor apps that don't change even when you change the screens. Also, a feature of Fun OS on the Vivo is that, as you can see, the apps have a rounded icon. I think it looks pretty good. It's a pretty nice touch. Obviously, if you like it or not is up to your personal choice. And obviously, familiar to all Android users, the buttons at the bottom, you have a back, a home, and an app loader as well. You're getting a really great feature with the second screen, a 1080p AMOLED back screen. A second screen that's better than a lot of cheaper phones' main screen. However, in a phone that's priced at about 5,000 RMB here in China, they have to compromise in some other places. For example, the camera isn't as amazing as you would get in some other camera-focused phones. Obviously, the main selling point of this phone is the screens. As I said before, the operating system is pretty slick. The way that it flicks through screens is quite unique, although it won't feel as snappy as those OSs that just flick right into the screen. Whether you like FunTouch OS 4.5 is up to you. It comes with a Snapdragon 845 processor with 10 gigabytes of RAM. 10 gigabytes is a crazy amount of RAM to have in these phones. I'm not knocking it. I would rather have 10 than 8. I'd rather have 8 than 6. But it's almost as if the Android operating system just can't use that much RAM anyway. In any case, you do have it, and it's not going to be a disadvantage. It also comes with 128 gigabytes of storage. The Snapdragon 845 coupled with the Adreno 630 is a really good combination, and of course, this phone, being in China, had PUBG preloaded already. As you can see, I just opened up PUBG very quickly, loaded the front screen. I was really impressed at how that game literally takes the entire front of the phone. Even with the aspect ratio of the phone, which is quite long, it still takes up the entire front screen. I must admit, playing games like that on the entire screen looks really, really good. You get a 3,500 milliamp hour battery, not the biggest, definitely not small by any means. You do have those 2 screens that this one battery needs to power. Is having 2 screens going to be detrimental to battery life? Probably not. The back screen isn't going to be used that much, and anyway, both of the screens are AMOLED, so you know, as long as they're off or black, they're not going to be using that much energy. Anyway, I can say that any Vivo phone is going to last you a day with some charge left with normal usage. USB-C type charging for the battery and dual SIM card slots, a common feature here in China for these types of phones. The loudspeaker was okay, not the best, not the worst, but obviously the main point, the main feature about this phone is that crazy screen on the back. Useful for taking selfies, and Vivo's attempt at AI technology, Jovi, will also display things on that back screen as well. The phone feels really, really good in the hand. It's got quite a long aspect ratio, but having that back screen does just add a little bit of thickness to the phone. It is definitely a little bit thicker than some other competitors, but I guess that's the price you're paying for having that extra screen on the back. If you just use the phone on a daily basis and you're not constantly comparing it to other phones, I really don't think you're going to notice the difference. A really unique phone on sale here in China for 5,000 RMB.